Hi there, my name is Erminia the Inevitable Egg, and welcome to Critical Access, a project wherein I take the archival writings of the great Critical Role lore master Danny Carr and perform them in audiobook fashion. Whether you don't have the time to read through the Cobalt Soul archives, or simply have difficulty processing the heavy weight of balancing a lot of written information, never fear. I am your town herald. I'll get the word of adventure to you, because it's critical that legend be accessible to all. The year is 835 PD in the continent of Wildmount. The Dwendalian Empire has absorbed the whole of western Wyandir. Within the empire is a town called Trostenwald, and within the town's tavern, 7 very different people have just crossed paths. Eventually, they will form the Mighty Nein, a powerful adventuring party that will face down would-be gods, tangled with underwater monstrosities, and uncover the secrets buried behind an intense political turmoil between nations. Our band of would-be motley assholes includes Beauregard, the human monk, Jester Lavore, the tiefling cleric, Ford, the half-orc warlock, Caleb Widowgast, the human wizard, Not the Brave, the goblin rogue, Molly Mock Tealeaf, the tiefling bloodhunter, and Yasha, the Aasimar barbarian. But for now, they are simply 7 ne'er-do-wells who have been invited to a circus. However, that dazzling circus show involves an elderly man in the audience turning into a zombie and attacking the crowd. Springing into action, they save the day. However, while investigating the circus, it becomes apparent that Calorie, the devil toad, is a fiend who has been draining the life force of Tova, the young dwarven girl that he performs with. The adventurers slay Calorie and free Tova, proving to the lawmaster in a midnight trial that the circus as a whole was not responsible for these attacks. Meanwhile, in the shadows, Bo encounters her former Cobalt Soul teacher and gets a new teacher in the form of Expositor Dyron, who begins to secretly instruct the wayward monk in the ways of espionage. Our band of misfits realize that they rather enjoy working together and decide to brave the dangers of the open road as a team, though Yasha chooses to stay behind, stating that she'll catch up later. They set out for Zadash in hopes of eventually finding their way to the Solstice Academy in Rexentrum so that Ford can uncover the mysteries of his new magical powers and his unusual falchion. Lately, he has been experiencing strange dreams in which he is underwater and sees a large yellow eye that promises him rewards, which is par for the course of a warlock, reluctant or not. On the way, they save the town of Allfield from a pack of vicious gnolls. Watchmaster Bryce Philide asks for help in rescuing their kidnapped villagers. Delving into an abandoned mine, the group finds a surprising ally in Shakasta, a blind vigilante cleric who sees through the eyes of his hummingbird familiar, the Duchess. With Shakasta's aid and Not's daring, they disrupt a ritual involving human sacrifices, defeat a manticore, the Yenogu-worshipping gnolls, and their human priests. They return to Allfield with the surviving villagers and give Bryce their new group name, the Mighty Nein. Officially christened, the Mighty Nein return to the Amber Road. Jester tells them all about her mother, a courtesan known as the Ruby of the Sea, about her own banishment from Nicodranus due to a practical joke, and her search for her father. Jester also explains a bit more about her BFF relationship with her strange deity, the Traveler, who visits her in person. Arriving at the city of Zadash, the 9 reunite with Yasha in the bathhouses. They then meet Enchanter Pumat Sol, a furball shopkeeper with 3 simulacrum, and the Knights of Requital, a rebellion that is plotting to rid the city of its crooked officials. Ulog, one of the Knights of Requital, requests the party's aid in their cause. They agree, enacting a plan to oust the High Richter. Unfortunately, it ends in a confrontation between Ford and Caleb, and with Ulog sacrificing himself to kill the High Richter. When the party flees their crime scene, a separate attack on the Zaberspire distracts the Crown's Guard all across the city. The 9 escape down into the sewers, stumbling upon one of the Spire's attackers, a drow soldier from the Kreen dynasty. He carries a large dodecahedron, which he'd taken from the Zaberspire in order to return it to his people. The group decide to let him go with his prize, but he is quickly killed by the Crown's Guard. The 9 then steal the beacon back from under the Empire's nose. The Knights, primed to place one of their own within the city officials, now must get one member, Horace Thrym, out of the city safely while his husband steps up for the Knights. The Nine look for the Gentleman, a name that keeps popping up all over their travels. Upon finding the crime lord's base of operations, they impress the Gentleman, a water genasi, with a dice game and their own pluck. He agrees to ensure safe passage for Horace to Burlbin and help clear the party's name of the High Richter's murder, if the Nine will inspect and clear out his newly discovered, abandoned research facility. While gathering information about their task at the Gentleman's, Molly is recognized by a tabaxi woman named Cree, who calls him both Lucian and Nonagon. Molly, however, doesn't recognize the woman at all. He confesses to the group that he awoke in a grave 2 years ago with no memory of his past and has no desire to know the man that he once was, being happy with the life that he has now. The Gentleman's task involves traversing an underground river to find the abandoned facility. The Nine successfully empty it of monsters, including the soul of a mad mage, and return to the Gentleman, who is pleased with their work. Later, the group experiments with the dodecahedron, with Caleb uncovering its ability to produce a fragment of possibility, essentially a luck roll, to anyone who stares into the beacon's depths. After enjoying the Harvest Close Festival and meeting a powerful mage named Trent Ickathon, Caleb reveals to Bo and Knot that he had attended the Solstice Academy when he was young, and that Ickathon was his former teacher. Ickathon had brainwashed Caleb into believing that his loving parents were anti-Empire, manipulating Caleb to murdering them by burning their house down. The action caused Caleb to break, and he spent a decade in a sanatorium before a mystery woman restored his mind. Caleb now seeks atonement for his sins. The next day, war is officially declared between the Empire and the Kreen dynasty in Xhorhas. Offered work by both the Lawmaster of Zadash and the Gentleman, the Nine choose to align themselves with the morally gray Gentleman, hoping to avoid the war altogether. They accept both of his job offers, the first being in the Labenda Swamp. While traveling, Knot opens up about her distaste in being a goblin and her life as a torturer's assistant. She mentions a halfling man that she had befriended, Yeza, before she ran away from her tribe. Upon arrival in the swamp, Jester rescues an orphaned Kenku child named Kiri. Unsure what else to do with her, the Nine decide that she's safer with them for now. Next, they meet a half-elf sorcerer named Kaliana, who helps them secure the Gentleman's safe house. The party assists her in destroying a dangerous artifact of Tiamat, though not without some dissent among the group. Beneath the safe house, Ford finds a mysterious yellow orb that his patron forces him to absorb into his body through a vision of his mentor and captain Vandrin. Though he suffers no ill effects, the experience confuses both him and the party, who watched him do it. Ford opens up to the rest of the Nine about Vandrin, and the night that his ship exploded on the sea due to a fellow crewmate's sabotage. On their second task for the Gentleman, the Nine begin their trek to Shady Creek Run. They stop in Hupperduke, a town of industrious party gnomes. Bo tells Knot about her family of winemakers, and how her controlling father sent her away to the Cobalt Soul. They assist a tinkerer in destroying his deadly invention, and reunite a family, saving their children from being sent to an orphanage. It's here that they say a fond farewell to Kiri, who stays behind with this family. Upon leaving Hupperduke, Yasha, Ford, and Jester are kidnapped by slave traders in the night. When the others search for them, they meet Keg, a dwarven fighter who reveals that the slave traders are known as the Iron Shepherds. They hatch a plan to save their friends, but this plan goes horribly wrong. The ensuing fight results in the death of Molly by the Shepherd's leader Lorenzo, who only leaves the rest alive due to his desire to teach them a lesson. Hey everyone, thank you so much for checking out Critical Access. If you like this video, please like it and share it with your friends, and comment below to let me know what you think. I'm really hoping to make these giant lore catch-ups a little bit easier for everyone to digest. Subscribe to this channel for more audio recordings of this massive Mighty Nein recap and other recordings in the future. And please, if you haven't already, follow Critical Role on all the social medias and at It's Danny Carr on Twitter. If you're so inclined, you can also buy your Town Herald a cup of coffee from the local cafe down on my Ko-fi. The link is in the description below. Thank you very much, dear adventurers. Be radiant and kind.